Imagine a fortress so isolated, so battered by relentless winds and treacherous currents, that escaping it alive was considered a mathematical impossibility. Rising menacingly out of the sapphire blue waters of the Mediterranean, just off the coast of Marseille, sits the Château d'If. It is a place immortalized in fiction as the ultimate inescapable prison, the birthplace of the legendary Count of Monte Cristo. But the reality of what happened behind these thick stone walls is far stranger, darker, and more chilling than any novel Alexandre Dumas could have ever penned. Today, we are diving deep into the grim history, the real prisoners, and the shadowy legends of the Château d'If. Welcome back. If you love dark history and unsolved mysteries, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, let's step into the dark. To understand the terror of the Château d'If, you have to look at why it was built. In the early 1500s, King Francis I of France recognized a glaring vulnerability. Marseille had recently been annexed into the French kingdom, but it lacked proper coastal defenses. In 1516, the king visited the region, looked out at the tiny, uninhabited island of If, and made a fateful decision to fortify it. By 1531, the fortress was complete. It was a masterpiece of military engineering, bristling with cannons designed to protect Marseille from naval attacks. But the fortress never actually fired a shot in defense against an external enemy. Instead, military tacticians quickly realized something else. The island's brutal geography made it the ultimate natural prison. Surrounded by freezing, violent currents and sharp, jagged cliffs, the Château d'If became the Bastille of the south. If you were sent here, the state didn't need to lock your cell door with 1,000 padlocks. The sea itself was your warden. For over 3 centuries, the Château d'If served as a royal and state prison. Thousands of men and women passed through its gates, many of them never to leave alive. But unlike modern prisons, your treatment here wasn't based on justice. It was based entirely on social status and wealth. Of course, you cannot talk about the Château d'If without talking about the man who put it on the global map, Edmond Dantes. In 1844, French author Alexandre Dumas published The Count of Monte Cristo. In the story, Dante is wrongfully imprisoned in the Château d'If for 14 years. Inside, he meets the brilliant scholar Abbé Faria, who teaches him languages, science, and the location of a hidden treasure on the island of Monte Cristo. But here is the million-dollar question. Did anyone ever successfully escape the real Château d'If? For centuries, local folklore claimed that no one had ever escaped and lived to tell the tale. The combination of the freezing currents and armed guards made it a historical fortress of 0 successful breakouts. However, historical archives suggest a few desperate individuals managed to slip away, though most drowned in the attempt, swallowed by the Mediterranean abyss. The legend of total inescapability, however, remains a powerful part of the island's dark aura. By the late 19th century, the Château d'If had outlived its usefulness as a prison. It was officially decommissioned in 1890, and the military handed it over to the public. Today, you can take a short ferry ride from Marseille and walk the very corridors where thousands suffered. The Château d'If stands today not just as a monument to stone and history, but as a haunting reminder of the depths of human cruelty and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Would you have had the courage to survive the dungeons of If? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into dark history, smash that like button, subscribe for more mysteries, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay curious.